Ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, welcome. This is the official press conference for the Ring of Fire, an amazing boxing extravaganza set for Saturday, December 6th at the Gold Coast Convention Centre in Queensland, Australia. Brought to you by Tasman Fighters in association with Gold Star, Matchroom Boxing, Riyadh Season, and broadcast exclusively live and direct on Stan pay-per-view. Opetaia, the IBF and Lineal Ring Magazine Cruiserweight Champion, will defend his crown against Hussein Chinkara, the IBF mandatory contender. The principal doubleheader will include Justis Huni, who's here with us today, back from his gladiatorial effort in England, where he took Fabio Wardley all the way in an effort to win the WBA interim WBA heavyweight championship of the world. Now he's going to be fighting Kiki Lutelli in a rematch for the WBO global heavyweight title. This event is set to be one of the greatest fight cards ever assembled in Australia. It'll feature the likes of rising star Max Money McIntyre, talented Austin Akuso, the heavyweight champion, the heavyweight Olympian Tara Moana, the IBF Pan Pacific Super Welterweight, the Pan Pacific Super Welterweight champion Ben Marnie, former world champion and new entrant Jason Maloney, an amazing domestic dust-up between Non-Stop Jake Wiley and Showtime Paul Fleming, who's here with us today. And there'll be much, much more. Before we break into Q&As from the media, let's hear from Mick Francis, the President and CEO of Tasman Fighters.
Thanks, Ted. Yeah, first of all, thank you everyone for coming here today. I really appreciate the turnout. December 6th, it's all going to happen. Back on the Gold Coast for the third time this year. We're fortunate enough to see Opetaia in action. I said last time he fought, this is probably the last time we'll see Jai on the Gold Coast or Australian soil, but however, the way things have fallen, he's got a mandatory he has to face. He was hoping to unify against Zurdo Ramirez. Obviously that fell apart due to injury to Zurdo. However, the IBF have ordered a mandatory. Once again, every 9 months, you need to fight your mandatory in the IBF. So unfortunately, we have to go down this route, but for us, we have an opportunity to do a really good card and another amazing fight night. On the card, we've got Justis Huni. Justis Huni, we all know Justis on the back of the Fabio Wardley fight. We all watched Joe Parker 2 weeks ago fight Fabio. If you look at levels in the sport, you see how close Justis actually came to beating Fabio. He got unlucky in the 10th round, but if you watch that fight, he schooled him every single round up to the 10th round. So we're fortunate enough to have another world champion, Justis Huni, back on Australian soils as well. Justis is going to have this fight and he's going to move on to bigger and better things. So look, we couldn't be blessed with a co-main event as we have. Paul Fleming's here today, Showtime Fleming. We saw a fight on stand a few years ago. He's one of the great talents of Australian boxing. He's been out of the ring for 2 years, but he's back against Jake Wiley. Jake Wiley was coming off a loss against George Kambosos recently. So it's a world-class fight. And that's another fight I'm looking forward to tuning into. So guys, if you've got any questions about the undercard, also I'd like to thank Stan for supporting not only Tasman Fighters but all of our fighters. We finally have the opportunity to build the sport in Australia on a mainstream platform. That's something that Tasman Fighters and our fighters haven't had in the past. The work that we've done behind the scenes over the last few years to get these guys to where they are has been a really tough road, but now with Stan Sports I can see some really good things happening in the future. So I'm really pleased to have Stan on board and can't wait for the future. Any questions?
What does that deal with Stan look like?
At the moment it's over the next 12 months, but hopefully after this first initial 12 months we can extend a little bit longer. But as I said before, I think this is an opportunity that our fighters get to fight on a big platform, a domestic platform, a platform that everyone's aware of, everyone knows about, and the Channel 9 backing, obviously in Fairfax, like our fighters obviously get the opportunity now to actually fight and be promoted the way they should be promoted. Like Jai Opetaia on the back of his fight when he broke his double broken jaw against Maris Brutus the very first time around. Like realistically, he should be a national hero. but he wasn't, because he hasn't had the support that we need. We finally get the opportunity. So Justis Huni, like Justice, you know, we've never seen a heavyweight in Australia that moves and fights like Justis Huni. Justis Huni will win a world title. He will support Australian boxing. You know, we've got some great talent in this country. We just need to get behind him, and the pool's endless. So with Tasman fighters now involved, we aim to do that. It's all about developing the sport, pathways, and putting these guys on great cards they can be proud of. So the deal with Stan Sports, like, I'm still pinching myself. It's a deal that we needed, and it's a deal that I think Australian boxing really needed as well. So it couldn't be any happier.
It's been frustrating, Mick, like just getting, you know, these guys have been, you know, doing incredible things on the world stage, but in relative anonymity, has that been hard for them as well?
Mate, it's super frustrating. You know, like I said, both of these guys, Jai and Justice, what they've done in the ring, they should be national heroes. They haven't had the respect of mainstream media until now, and we finally get it. So, you know, it's something that we needed. It's something that Australian boxing needs. Now there's, you know, competition's always healthy. You know, you've got one platform promoting a promotional company. Now you got Stan Sports promoting another promotional company. Mate, as I said, competition is healthy, and you're going to see some really good shows moving forward in 2026 from both promotions. That's it.
Big Justin, answer a question.
Yeah, come on, mate. Yeah.
Justice, how are you feeling after seeing the fight on the weekend? You feel as though your stocks have risen as a result?
Yeah, 100%. I think after my fight with Fabio, my stocks went up. So, you know, after seeing that fight, and unfortunately, Parker getting stopped, they've gone up again. So, it's my time now, and I just got to continue winning fights and get back onto my winning spree again.
What about the changes you made, Justice, just in terms of your team around you?
Yeah, I've got a good team now, a solid team. Everyone's working together. So yeah, I'm happy. My team's happy, and happy fighters, Danny's fighter next time.
Hard conversations there with the old man and others as well.
Yeah, of course. Like, I've been with my past trainers from when I was at Opetaia, when I started in the Opetaia. So, you know, it was hard, but it just had to be done. You know, for me to keep progressing and keep moving forward in the sport, I had to do what I had to do, and that was the change I had to make.
What's been the main change in terms of philosophy and focus and the things that they brought to your training and preparation now?
Just everyone working together, you know, one team. So, yeah, like I said, I'm happy, my team's happy, and we're working together. That's what makes the dream work.
Justice, how does it feel fighting back home for?
Yeah, I'm grateful. You know, another big opportunity to fight on another drive tire card on the Gold Coast. So it's going to be a lot of loud fans. A lot different to when I fought over in Ipswich. Felt like when I was walking out, I had the whole world against me. So it's going to be good to be back here on the Gold Coast and fighting in front of my people again.
You take away from that Wardley fight, now that you look back at it, probably in a different context and see what he's done subsequently, do you think, I was that close, I'm well and truly, close enough to win a world title?
Yeah, it was, I learned a lot from it. I think I shocked myself. I had no expectations going into that fight. I took that fight on short notice. I took it with an injury, and all I had it was to give it a shot. That's just the way it ended up. And yeah, now I want to bounce back and have the opportunity again, and hopefully share the ring with Fabio again.
You mentioned the circumstances of taking that fight with the short notice and injury. If you had your time again, would you do it, or is it a case of you've actually taken a lot of confidence in how close you came to beating
No doubt about it. Like, I'll take it in a heartbeat. the first fight, taking that fight, I think my manager pushed me over the line to take that fight and take that opportunity, because taking that fight with the injury that I had and short notice, it was like a lot to think about. But thinking back now, I'm grateful I took that opportunity, and if it came around again, I'll take it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, Opetaia, back in the ring with him. What do you thought of that rematch?
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, our first fight was a good fight. You know, he won with me at the start of our first fight, so I'm looking to come back, show everyone the experience I've gained since then, how much I've improved since then. So yeah, it's exciting.
Being Australia's #1 ranked heavyweight, does that come with added pressure?
Not really. I feel like I've had that title from the moment I turned professional. You know, I was qualified for the Olympics when I turned pro, and I feel like the hype has always been around me. So now it's just second nature. Like, it's not really a big deal to me. I just go in there and do my job.
On that with Justis as well, guys. I know, I'm not sure if a lot of people are aware of it, but Justis went into that fight with 5 weeks' notice. He hasn't been, he was in the gym a little bit, he hadn't been sparring, he'd done nothing. He's actually had an injury. He had an operation on the 28th of January where they went in and they took 3 bones out of his elbow. In that operation, they moved his nerve. Every time he threw a jab, it was like hitting a funny bone. So he was not going to take that fight. So 5 weeks out, he hadn't really done anything. He was going to get an operation on that elbow. The opportunity was too great for him to miss. So he went into that fight unfit, unprepared, with an injury. 2 weeks out over in the UK, he tore the top of his bicep in sparring. Didn't do any more punching, any more sparring for the 2 weeks leading into that fight. So he went into that fight virtually with 3 weeks preparation. And to do what he did against a world-class fighter as Fabio Wardley, which is now tipped to fight Alexander Usyk in his next fight, yeah, it's no short of a miracle. And this guy, he is going to be a star. We've never seen the best of Justis Huni. We're about to see the best of Justis Huni. So everyone get on and support him, because, mate, this guy he's a superstar.